Nightmare on Elm Street, more like diarrhea on this street. I'm Sam.
No out of town, chicks. I'm Jackie.
I'm Justin, and this is Nightmare 2, Freddy Krueger's Revenge? This is Sticker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these! No more hangers!
It stinks.
Hangers!
Get to the chopper! Sticker Madness.
Hello, welcome to Sticker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin, and with me are always Sam and Jackie. Welcome to the first episode of 2019's Spooktober, where us and pretty much every other movie podcast just focuses on Halloween movies. Starting this year with Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge from 1986?
86.
86 is where we're at. Yeah.
Freddy's Revenge. Is it, though?
Yeah, right.
Is
right.
it, though?
Well, I'll get to that.
I got a great Halloween joke.
Okay, please.
How do you tell the difference between a girl ghost and a boy ghost?
I don't know, Jackie. Please tell us.
A girl ghost has boobs.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
That joke stinks. Sam, please tell us all you can about Nightmare 2.
So, having watched it just recently, we'll just start
Like-
out with the financials.
like-
we just watched this. So, the first...
Having watched it recently,
Having watched
an
it
hour
recently an hour ago and being kind of baffled by everything about it, this is the most baffling thing. This is sort of like the most successful of all of them.
Oh, really?
It cost $3 million and returned 30.
That's payola.
It made twice as much as the first one.
Oh my gosh, that's insanity.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I mean, I guess, like, you know, you've got the allure of Freddy, like, oh, Freddy. Now I'm jacked up about the first one because I saw it on tape because my parents wouldn't let me go see it in the theater, but my friend Steve got it on VHS and we went and saw it, and when his parents were home, we got so scared. Now we're stoked about the second one. Maybe.
Apparently what it is if you put the number 2 behind something, all of us consumers who are complete idiots will go trip over each other, fight ourselves to the death to try to get to it. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's a movie, a video game, or like a bath towel.
Yeah, that thing you do in the bathroom. What is it, number 2? I got to get to that.
I got to get to that. Yeah.
Everybody's in a rush.
So, New Line was actually in trouble.
Okay. Still. Always.
Robert Shea left New Line in 2008.
Okay.
But he started it in the 60s, and Reefer Madness was actually one of his first films.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, interesting. But they were making this and Critters around the same time, and if one of them would have tanked, New Line would have been over.
Okay.
And because
so this is the Hunger Games, basically.
This is their Hunger Games, yeah. If this didn't work, New Line's gone. Mm-hmm. To the point that Robert Shea picked this to be the micromanager picture of his. So the director, Jack Shoulder...
Jack Shoulder.
Yeah, Jack Shoulder. Oh, he also directed The Hidden and Alone in the Dark.
Okay, all right.
And then a bunch of TV stuff. But he was like other director. He just like showed up on set and like started telling people what to do after the director told him to do something else. And so that was super fun, and Jack Shoulder hated it. And the point where they actually like came to a head where Shoulder's like, I'm either the director or you're the director, one of us needs to leave, was when Robert Shea decided to cast himself as Ron's dad.
Ron's dad.
He's like, no, we got a guy for that. It's not you. Get out of here. Get out of here. One of the other great calls to save some cash was he had decided that Robert Englund was too expensive and anybody can play the guy in the mask.
Oh, sure, right.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So they shot for 2 weeks before they realized they really had to just give in to Robert Englund's demands and pay him.
Who was the guy?
I didn't say who the guy was, but it's a stunt man. And that guy is still in one shot in the shower.
Oh, really?
The really
Okay.
steamy Freddy that you can't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
his face.
Right.
They kept that one shot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
I mean, you can kind of get away with that with Jason. You just need a big guy,
Tall guy.
right?
You gotta-
yeah, tall
yeah.
guy. But even Kane Hodder was Jason for what? 5 out of 7 of them?
something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, just dude. It's not like Robert Englund was expensive. Like, oh, I'm fucking putting butts in seats. No, I'm pretty sure they got a screaming deal on Robert Englund still.
yeah, it's not like, but they were trying to get a bargain. Like they were trying to like pay a guy in thanks.
Right? Here's just half a sandwich.
Here's half a sandwich. We're gonna make millions. You're fucked. Welcome to America.
Also, you have to blow yourself up because you're a stuntman,
Yeah.
and your arms got to come off, and you got to turn a car over, and you're going to have back problems for the rest of your life.
Rest of your life, and we need you to actually hold the bird while it explodes.
Exploding bird. Yeah, that's not a joke.
Another fun fact is that later, in adding to the confusion of this film, they had 2 scripts that they couldn't decide, and they ended up using the other script for number 5
Okay.
eventually.
Okay.
But they chose
Which is,
this one.
I think that's
Dream
where
Baby.
that's where Jackie and I are at. I think we did 4. We didn't do 5 yet in our review.
5 is just Rosemary's Baby with Freddie.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It is interesting, and like when I was reading, I was like, that would have been more interesting than this. But this worked so well, so why argue with it, right? This made all the cash. The writer David Chalkin, though, would later admit that he wrote as many homosexual undertones as he possibly could
Yep. Yeah.
in the movie, and then during filming, they tried to tone it down, and so it just looks like this Reagan era get kissed by a pretty girl and you're not gay anymore.
Absolutely. And we will cover that in quite detail. Hence the Freddy Kruegery
Yeah.
statement at the beginning. Yeah, this is a gay movie. This is totally a gay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We'll flush that out quite a bit, Jackie.
I only caught the one thing, which was the S&M bar that they were at.
That's just like the erect penis in the movie.
Yeah. We'll get into all that. I mean, man, yeah.
Yes, those are whales.
Oh,
in the score.
Okay. All right.
And I'm gonna just put out there the thing I had the hardest time with this. This is the only movie that doesn't use the Friday the 13th theme in the series as well.
Friday the 13th.
Or Nightmare on Elm Street theme from the first one.
Yeah.
This score gave me a fucking headache.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
It hurts your fucking head.
It's like going to a fucking what's it? Not Christian Bale. The director guy. Jesus Christ.
Hans Zimmer?
No, like fucking.
This is a great story.
Oh yeah, I'm just
Christopher Nolan, sorry.
Christopher Nolan movie, and just being like, God damn, my fucking brain hurts. Stop being so goddamn loud. But this is like, you can turn the volume down because you're watching it at home, and you're still like, God, this just hurts my head.
It hurts your head, and you can't because they're fucking. It's intentionally that loud because it's so much louder than goddamn speech.
Right.
You can't hear him fucking talk if you try to not have a headache watching this.
And
movie.
why whales? I mean, nothing says a man that stalks your dreams like underwater sea mammals.
They're calling to Star Trek 3?
Right. 4.
4. Yes. That's what it is. 4.
Why do they always put us in crappy movies? Is the
Yeah.
translation of whale talk.
Save the whales by making them Freddy. And they were only used when Krueger was on screen.
Right, there's no connection.
And Krueger is never on screen without the whales.
There's no
Yeah,
horror.
it really killed the horror for me. It was like he's got his fingernails going, and
People use whale song to go to sleep.
Yes.
yeah,
like-
and maybe that's why I had to take a nap afterwards.
Right. Ah, the piece of the whales.
I was like,
I mean, I guess there is a connection with sleeping and Freddy
Yeah,
and
but you're
whales,
not-
but
You're not supposed to be soothed to sleep by Freddy's revenge. Like, this revenge is so soothing to me.
I can't wait to go to sleep and see him. He has nice songs.
I mean, he'd probably be more popular if he had the whale thing going.
You fuck up Freddy so bad, you fall asleep and he's like giving you a back massage.
He's just sitting in a chair waiting to murder somebody. He's like, you just can't. I need to get rid of this whale song, man. It's working too good.
But he's used it to make his own line of home sleeping machines. And now he's filthy rich.
He's filthy rich and now lives on his own island with drinks with umbrellas in it.
There is one thing I almost forgot to mention that is a huge deal about this movie, and had it failed, we are lucky that it didn't, that This and Critters hit, because Robert Shea was the only motherfucker crazy enough to gamble on Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
Nobody else on the planet would have greenlit a simultaneous 3-movie production.
No shit.
He was the only, with a guy from fucking New Zealand that made bad taste.
Yeah, Derek drools a lot. No shit. I mean, the don't forget about the Frighteners. Everybody really respects the Frighteners, but it's not like it was a critically successful movie or even that much of a financial success.
It was okay.
It's kind of a cult film where people mostly caught it after it was in and out of the theaters. And like, hey, this Peter Jackson guy's okay.
Yeah,
absolutely. We wouldn't have Lord of the Rings without this piece of shit. And this thing is a piece of shit.
A piece of shit.
And we'll talk about Critters 2 in this episode. Not Critters 2,
but Critters as well.
Also.
All right.
Oh, I kind of liked it.
I kind of like this too, but it's a piece of shit.
This
movie is fucking terrible.
You haven't seen some of the other movies that I watch.
I have.
That are horror movies, and I'm like, this is high production.
Every picture that you choose, I get to see it, and they're all terrible. But yeah, Jackie, this made $30 million, and it stinks.
$30 million.
Sam, anything else?
That's it.
We should mention the cast. Obviously, Robert Englund and Kluge-Luger.
Kluge-Luger.
Who was Kluge-Luger?
The dad.
The dad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who's alive in 90.
He's still alive today.
Yeah, so there was some silly thing on
Outlived
IMDb.
Robert Forster. Thanks, Earth.
Yeah, that there was 3 people in these movies that made it to 90 or above. Zsa Zsa Gabor, Kluge-Luger, and somebody else.
Zsa Zsa Gabor?
She made it to 99.
What does she have to do with this movie?
She was in 4.
She was?
Yeah, as a cameo as herself.
Did she slap Freddy Krueger in the face?
Probably.
And say, how dare you do that, sir?
After he gave her a ticket or whatever.
Zsa Zsa. I miss her. Yeah, Kluge-Luger. I think we only spot and name out Kluge-Luger just because of his name. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's pretty fucking awesome in Return of the Dead. Or Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's where he's from.
That's where he's from.
And somebody else. Guado, the guy who Guado lives inside of, whose name we can never remember. He's also the cowardly guy at the base on Starship Troopers.
Marshall Bell, who
gets his head stabbed in and they suck out his brain.
Yep. And then there's also...
God, that movie's great.
We just watched Vamp, and Robert Russler was in that.
Right. Yeah,
the guy that plays Ron Grady.
Yeah, I think... Oh, yeah, Vamp was fucking great.
Well, what about the best friend guy? Wasn't he somebody?
Yeah, that's who we were just talking about.
Yeah. We just saw him in Vamp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why he looks so familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's just got that 80s Rick look to him in general.
He was friends with Robert, or he is friends with Robert Downey Jr., because I guess
I can see that.
fact was that
Coke Bros.
He had to get driven to the first day of shooting of this by Downey Jr., like directly after he got done shooting a scene for Weird Science.
And you have to drive me, Robert Downey Jr., because I'm too fucked up on cocaine.
He doesn't, you got to drive fast and make mistakes. That's why Robert's behind the wheel.
Right. But
Going fast.
You don't want Robert Downey Jr. driving a car in the 80s ever. I mean,
maybe he doesn't have a car.
He's just, his tongue is out and going,
yeah. Like, I need a ride so bad, you're the guy.
Right. Taxi? Anyone else but Robert Downey Jr. Okay, let's move into this thing. Nightmare 2. So it starts out with just a typical school day on a school bus. I like how in the 80s, and maybe it's still that way in certain towns, but like I like that all the teenagers have to take the school bus, because the first thing you want to do when you're a teenager is get off the school bus.
Yeah. There's also an interesting thing about schools in the 80s movies where high school girls are 24-year-olds whose tits are trying to fight their way out of a V-neck, like just Russian boxers.
Mm-hmm. And fathers don't exist there, and bras don't exist.
Yeah.
Like, just, hey, yeah, go ahead, get those things out, young ladies. And all the boys are like shy and awkward introverts.
Wallflowers.
Basically. Yeah. So
and very muscly.
Oh, of course, muscly, but shy and introverted or rapey in other films. Anyways, Freddy's driving the bus.
Robert Englund, sorry, Robert, you get some FaceTime in the movie.
Yeah, but is he Robert Englund as bus driver, or is he Robert Englund as pre-Grody Freddy? Is it Freddy driving the bus?
No, it's real. I don't know what's happening here.
Right. Like, we're not going to spot Robert Englund. Even in fucking the sequel, before Freddy's had 10 movies and Robert Englund is this horror staple in every movie that wants to get a cameo from some guy who's sort of famous. You still can recognize, hey, that's Freddy.
Yeah, you know that you've seen enough Corman movies. He was a Corman Day player,
Right.
so.
You know what Robert Englund looks like without makeup? I mean, I think it's Freddy.
Well, he becomes Freddy later in this bus ride.
Right.
So I think what he is it's in disguised, incognito, real world Freddy, which breaks every fucking rule of this goddamn franchise. It's only 2 movies old.
It even goes deeper than that, because I'm not even sure that this is Freddy, even though it is Freddy in context. Jackie, are you on the Freddy or not Freddy train? Freddy or not Freddy school bus?
Well, I'm not thinking about that.
Okay. All right.
I'm thinking about, why did he drop all those kids off then if he was Freddy Krueger?
Why did he drop the kids off if he's Freddy Krueger? Because kids are getting on and off this bus. Or actually, they're just getting off this bus until there's only 3 people left. 2 of the thirsty bitches and the shy, awkward, introverted kid.
Does he want to kill kids or juggle sweater puppies?
Right.
It's a real... it doesn't make sense.
It does not make sense.
Yeah, so... I don't know.
So he punches the gas and drives them out past the neighborhood into a desert.
They're in the Mojave now.
They're in the fucking Mojave. They're cruising pretty good. If you drive a bus off-road ever, you know it's not a pleasant ride. And
it's a short one, too.
It's not even a pleasant ride when you're on paved roads.
No.
Pretty bumpy.
They broke their necks before...
Those kids are dead.
Yeah.
Those kids are fucking dead before we even get to the horror of it all.
And
he just turns around, he's like, son of a bitch, this was a terrible fucking plan.
If you even think about a bus going off-road, your neck just breaks instantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bouncy they are.
It went 8 feet off of the road, got high-centered, and everybody that was left flew out the window.
So yeah, they eventually crash in some desert, sand, whatever. And the earth opens up, like a giant sinkhole, and the bus is now on top of a column that's teetering fragilely while Freddy is coming at these remaining teenagers.
Sort of. He's just standing going, I drove the bus here. That's dangerous.
Free parking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's touching the seat with his fingernails.
Yeah, doing the claw thing.
Yeah. But it's not like the kids are screaming for no fucking reason, because it's not like he's coming at them.
Well, they're fucked, Jackie. I don't think that they're going to get out of that situation. They are teetering on top of a giant column that opens up into the gates of hell, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're going to fucking die one way or another.
Right.
So you know what? You might as well just sit down and enjoy the ride and get the Virgin to screw you.
Well, you can't screw in there, because then you'll start having the bus teeter back and forth. That's just
well, you gotta
accelerating.
do your humps right so that the bus, just kind of stays where it's at.
Hey,
Straight up and down.
There's 2 dudes and 2 chicks on that bus. They
only one
could
dude.
equal the rate. There's the nerdy guy and Freddy.
Nobody's gonna have sex with Freddy.
Somebody's got to take one for the team.
Didn't
No.
his wiener get burned off?
Yeah,
It's
dude.
just gross
I've
looking.
assumed that's his only motivation for killing people. Is that his wiener got burned off.
And now he's like, oh, this is revenge all the way.
All the way. Or none of the way.
Or none of the way.
He's like, my wiener got burned off. I'm done.
See, the Freddy franchise is just like a metaphor or not a metaphor, but it's the origin story to the Joker movie. It's just like Freddy got his wiener burned off, and now he kills people. That's the same thing as Joker, right?
Maybe.
I think the Joker still has his wiener.
No, but like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. That's where he used Freddy Krueger as acting motivation. Oh yeah, Jackie, that's totally no. Of course he didn't. Freddy stinks.
I'm like, that's a kind of a stretch. Okay.
Anyways,
you know what? You can't lie to me on this podcast,
Yeah,
and then
sure.
and
Good
then because I think that you're telling the truth.
you are a gullible.
Yes.
All right. So, anyways, it's all a fucking dream. It's not even the dream of the nerdy guy that's on the bus.
It is. That's
He's
him.
got bad hair and bad skin in that scene. So he's not just
It's
having
different hair.
Yeah, he's not just having a nightmare about dying. He's having a nightmare about being a dipshit.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, where are you getting dipshit? He's just
Well, he's like all nerdy and sweaty. And they're laughing at him, and he's
nerds
like,
are dipshits.
well, he's a
How
dipshit.
dare you? I was a nerd, and
That's
you call
fine.
me
You
a
can be a
dipshit.
nerd and not a dipshit, but this nerd is a fucking dipshit.
I mean, what's he even doing on that bus with Freddy? You should have known, right?
Well, no, he's a total dip. Everything he does in this movie, he's a dipshit.
Oh, Jesse's a dipshit.
yeah, he's a
sure.
dipshit.
Yeah, it's Jesse who, oh boy, Jesse. Is he cool?
No, I just said this nerd's a dipshit.
Obviously he's not cool to us, but is the movie like trying to make him cool, or is he?
No, he's not cool. The cool guy in school.
Is Grady his
This is
friend?
I guess
They're
it's-
not friends until he gets hit in the head with a baseball,
Right.
He just
and they get in a
moved.
fight.
Did they just move there from a different town, or did they just move from like down the street?
I don't know.
It doesn't. None of these questions are answered.
None of these questions are answered, but yeah, Jesse is he's not really the new kid in school because everybody already kind of like is picking on him. It's pre-established that he's being picked on.
Well,
in
and he's got
school.
a girlfriend.
And he's got a girlfriend.
And I think the Grady wrestling match at the beginning isn't like, I don't like you, we're gonna be friends now. It's like they've known each other long enough that they actually just get into tussles every once in a while.
Because of a very particular reason, Sam.
There's one reason why they like to roll around.
Very clear that we stated at the beginning of this movie.
Grady does expose the posterior of Jesse
Uh-huh.
prior to the fight.
Right?
Mhm.
Right? Maybe
Targeting.
Maybe
15
targeting
yards-
a little bit.
15-yard penalty for targeting.
All right, let's get to this. Is Grady gay, or is it just Jesse?
I think it's Grady.
Grady's gay too.
Yeah,
Well, I
because
think-
he doesn't go to the party. The town slut's like, hey, let's
Grady
get.
doesn't go to the party.
Grady's gay.
Grady's gay.
Yeah.
And Jesse is only in love with Grady, but Ronald Reagan has given him a Meryl Streepy redhead to fix his gayness.
Meryl Streepy redhead. Oh boy, that's the best comparison I've ever heard of. I was like, God, who does she look like? Meryl fucking Streep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
That's like apparently
Not
how
as good
she
of an actor.
got the cast. Was like, that girl looks like Meryl Streep.
She must be able to act well.
Yeah.
No, she does not.
In her defense, no one could deliver these fucking
No.
lines that don't
Oh,
mean anything.
Right, and are just so like middle school drama is like drippy. I love you. Yeah, you don't even see me. Yeah, right. So Grady is maybe not as in the closet as Jesse is, but you know, he's out there.
He's obviously gay, and he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He's like, yeah, I'm gay, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's cool. It's cool. Do whatever with your parts.
Look at these muscles, and I'll beat you up.
Yeah, and
but
I'll
I'm
kick your
also
ass.
like gonna smoke your pole.
He's like Country Mac. He's gay and a badass.
Yeah.
Well, and then that would explain how he knew that the gym teacher, was a pole smoker.
Okay, well, get there, you jumpy McJumperson. We haven't even got off the bus barely. So Jesse wakes up from this nightmare. He's just moved into this house where his original place is or not. Or did he just move in because the house seems pretty moved in, but his bedroom is clearly not moved in?
He has 5 boxes that he hasn't unpacked, and they're not even big boxes.
They're just boxes of, like, garbage, too.
He could just put these in his closet or the trash.
Or the attic, or the trash.
Well, what I want to know is when somebody screams like a girl,
Oh, yes.
bloody murder, right?
Oh, yes.
He's a girl screamer. He sounds like a woman when he screams. And this is like a blood-curdling, somebody is stabbing me scream. And
Jamie Lee Curtis would pay this guy to do voice work for her.
Yeah, and the parents are just downstairs making eggs like, fuck him.
Do. It's Tuesday, huh?
Klugeluger does like drop his newspaper for a second. He's like, what? Oh, it's what? Nancy, is that a blood curdling scream coming from upstairs?
From my teenage son.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh.
He doesn't like his son anyway. He's like, that kid's a Nancy.
Yeah, he just puts the look what Garfield's doing today. Lasagna. A cat with lasagna. God damn it.
No, I think he likes Dagwood
Dagwood.
because he likes sandwiches too.
Yeah, or Family Circle.
Wait all week.
Because this guy is clearly a Reaganista.
Family Circus wasn't bad. The guy was like,
Dude, Family
150.
Circus is fucking terrible, Sam.
It's bad.
It's
bad.
fucking terrible.
Well, Dagwood, you had to wait all week, and then the payoff was he finally gets to eat a sandwich.
He's doing it again.
Blondie's a great comic. Well, this was syndicated for 150 years, huh?
Okay, so later at PE class, it's softball and archery day. What? Is there archery? Hey, before you start picking on their location for the archery, is there archery in high school?
I think there used to be.
Really?
Yeah, there used to be. They don't do it anymore. Too many arrow accidents.
Yeah, right. I mean, they took lawn darts away from us. Why didn't they take archery away from us?
Well, lawn darts isn't really a viable skill. Like getting good at it, like, oh, yes, survival.
Who won today? The guy that's not dead.
Yeah, the guy that's not dead. Whereas, like, archery you can use to hunt things or whatever.
Okay, all right.
I suppose you could hunt with lawn darts, but...
They did. It was woolly mammoths, and still lots of guys died while they were playing lawn darts with woolly mammoths.
The bow and arrow works better.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, they have archery next to softball, like on the same field.
Like not even on. It's not even at the ends of fields across from each other. They're right next to each
No,
other.
the base coach got shot in the neck by an arrow. That's how close they are.
It's not to mention these are teenagers with arrows. Like, I mean, Steve, have you ever knocked an arrow before?
If there's no
flies up in the air and
backstop or anything, there's just like a fence and like a daycare center on the other side of a chain link fence, and they're just slinging arrows into it, killing their friends and their younger siblings with arrows.
Oh god damn it. So Jesse's out there playing softball and he gets brained in the head, which is hilarious. Goes down. There's so many people that get hit with balls in this movie. It's like the most ball to the face. Oh my. Yeah. So he gets hit in the head with some balls,
and then the guy that hit him in the head with the balls takes his pants off.
Correct. And rolls around in the dirt with him.
Now, I am going to ask for listener feedback on this particular scene because you guys say it's a jockstrap. I think he ripped his underwear off.
No, Jackie, have you ever seen a jockstrap before?
Yeah, but I think he ripped his underwears.
I don't think you know what a jockstrap looks like.
I do.
And I don't think you know what ripped underwears look like because in order for them to look like a jockstrap, you would have to have a pair of scissors and slowly cut out the butt section of the underwear.
And very carefully as well because it was a nice hemmed line.
Yeah, no, it's
was
a
a jockstrap.
jockstrap.
All right. I disagree. I'm asking for listener feedback. I think it was a ripped pair of undies.
I think a jockstrap is actually weirder, Jackie. Like, jockstraps. What was that?
You were supposed to wear them.
Why?
To put the cup in.
But you could wear a cup in your unders. Like, it's just the
They
cup
make
is safer.
girdles
It's
later.
a loin, like a cod piece for your undies.
Nobody wears a cup.
No, nobody wears a cup.
You can't run in them. They chafe. They hurt your balls worse than getting hit in the balls once every 6 months or whatever, right?
Yeah, dude, you get hit in the balls quite a bit in high school, but it's not as bad as wearing a jockstrap. Fuck the jockstrap.
No, cups are shitty.
Not to mention, you could just get conchoed at any point by your friends because your butt is just right there.
Because that thin layer of BVD is like a fucking solid wall of protection.
What's conchoed?
When you make a gun out of both of your hands and then shove your finger straight into somebody's ass.
It's a thing in Japan.
Yeah, concho.
It's like a fun game that people play where
with
they
their friends.
really sexually assault each other in a bad way. And then all clap afterwards.
That guy had to have surgery.
Yeah.
What?
Concho. They have a video game for it where you can practice your concho.
Oh my god. I'm gonna look this up on the internet later.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Concho's it's Japan's pastime.
Are you lying to me again?
No, you're gonna.
It's just
you'll
like
be on the,
baseball for here. Hey, baseball, apple pie. Over there, they have gun fingers and buttholes.
They got fucking panties and vending machines and concho.
Ladies that you eat sushi off of. It's all the same stuff.
All the same.
I think I should move to Tokyo
It would be an experience.
because I've got quite a big butt, and I could just clench my ass cheeks together, and then they wouldn't be able to get their guns out.
Oh no, I'm trapped. Concho has backfired. I both have to go to the hospital now.
I'm sure that would actually turn into more fun, and like you would become like a centerpiece of it. Like you're the Concho butt grab lady, and they all love you.
Yeah, and then you just make a human centipede out of Concho people.
It's like a
parade.
Concho line.
Yeah, Concho line.
Play Baby Elephant Walk, and we'll just fucking stop traffic. Fuck
it. Weird. Not as weird as this movie. Okay, so so they get into a wrestling match, and now they like each other, I guess. He tells Jesse that, oh, hey, by the way, you're so stupid. Your dad bought Nancy's house from the first movie, and she was hanging out in her room one night and watched Johnny Depp get murdered in an upside down room. So dumb.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And then Jesse's like, I'm not really doing push-ups.
Right?
Unsupervised push-ups as a method of punishment.
Yeah, this coach, the PE teacher or coach or whatever you want to call him, his role in this movie, Guado's
get to the
chassis. Yeah.
React,
he is, I guess, like supposed to be like a overbearing teacher. Like he's punishing them, and they're like, "You're making our lives worse." And he's like, I don't know, like a he's just a closet sadist.
He's a PE teacher from the
or
80s.
Just a PE teacher from the 80s.
Yeah.
He smoked cigarettes in his office. It was awesome.
Right. I mean, you guys were being dickheads, and your punishment is to do unsupervised push-ups?
Yeah.
You're not being, like, oppressed. You're getting a break.
Yeah, one of the great things about 80s PE teacher, they don't give two shits.
Mm-mm.
Like, he barely walked over there and stopped them from beating each other to death. He was like, oh, for the love of God.
Well, he was
Stab
enjoying
it.
himself. He was like, look at the show on that kid.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at the butt, and then the red shorts, they were kind of loosey-goosey. He probably was getting some free action.
Yeah, I think the PE teacher is supposed to be also like another, what's his name in American Beauty, whatever that actor's name is. Not Kevin Spacey, the
Chris
neighbor.
Cooper?
Yeah, Chris Cooper. Like kind of like that. Like he's a homophobe, but is also down. Like he, is like, I'm gonna punish you boys. I think he's supposed to be like that, but it just comes across like, dude, you boys are getting it pretty fucking easy right here.
Yeah, no, he doesn't care.
No.
Free push-ups, do them if you want.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go drink in my office.
Yeah.
No, okay, so when I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh boy, here we go.
where, you know,
Jackie and gym class story.
yeah, this is a gym class story.
How many push-ups, Jackie? Right now.
No, I had worn butt thong underwears that day.
All right.
And I didn't want to do the sprint, where you have to get down on you have to get, touch the ground before you get going.
Oh, we called those suicide. Oh, you mean just being lining up in the block?
In the
Yeah,
blocks.
in the
Okay.
blocks.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to because my shorts were just falling down my ass crack. And you could tell that I was, didn't really have underwear on. You know what? It was a thing in the 90s. Fuck all of you.
It's the thing in the 90s. Yeah, nobody wears thongs anymore.
Yeah. It was a thing in the 90s, and it was fucking rad.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if you know about ladies' underwear anymore, Jackie.
Ladies' underwear is taking a turn for the brief.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because you know why? Because your asshole gets chafed.
Yeah, thongs are not it.
Yeah, they're not it. They go up your crotch and up your... No. So anyway...
I don't even like them because they give you the tall butt. Like, ooh,
Well,
hey,
the
baby.
tall butt thong is its own, like, subcategory of the thong.
Yeah, but even just non-high, thigh-high, or hip-high thongs, they give you make your butt look tall. I don't like thongs. Never did. Anyways, continue your story.
So I didn't want to line up at the blocks because I had the PE teacher that liked to smoke cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I was, and he's like, get down there. And then he, like, stood behind me, and when my butt is eating my shorts,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to stand there forever in that position.
Okay.
It was fucking awful.
And then what happened?
And then I had to run, and my butt was jiggling everywhere.
So, sounds like somebody was unprepared for PE.
Right.
Yes. I did not like PE.
Yeah. In your defense, though, like, there's really no point that general PE should have you running out of the block.
Right.
Like, that's not a skill that's going to come in handy. At any
Yeah,
point. Just get some exercise in is all you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, hit each other in the face with the dodgeball. Give me a little bit of joy in life.
Yeah.
Watching teenagers get beaned.
Run around in a circle, whatever. But, like, running out of the blocks, I don't think you need to be doing that.
Yeah, you don't need to be doing that. Okay, so anyways, Jesse back at home. He wakes up, and this is going to be a recurring theme here for quite a while. I might skip a lot of this, but he's having nightmares almost every night where he wakes up and screaming. He's either Freddy or Freddy's there, or it's too hot in his room, and so blah, 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 this and that happens. But he goes downstairs, gets some eggs for his midnight stack, and then drops them on the floor, goes to clean them up, and he sees somebody in the backyard. And it's Freddy, who is downstairs using the basement crematorium, because they have that. And he's like, dude, what's up, Freddy? And Freddy's like, I'm going to be you. You've got the body and I've got the mind. And pulls his head skin back and doesn't have a skull. He's just got exposed brain.
Mm-hmm.
That's Freddy's weakness. Just poke him right there.
Conchoed.
Yeah, concho Freddy's brain. Like, take him out.
Take him out. Well, he gets stabbed later, and it's just like dust comes out. And you're like, oh, I guess.
Well, yeah, you got to hit him in the brain. He's undead. I mean, it's easy. Like, you don't even need a gun or a sword. You
just need some balls.
You need balls. Throw it at his face.
And then expose his posterior.
Pulling his pants
butts out, Freddy. Neener.
Oh, well, that's out.
I'm pretty sure you're gay.
Yeah. But I was just, yeah.
It's silly. It's silly
We're
butts.
just having sleep, but yeah, we should engage in homosexual sex.
I'm straight.
Oh.
Are you sure?
I've got a burn up hot dog for a wiener.
Yeah.
I'm no.
But before I lost my dick in a fire, I was straight.
To all the chicks.
Yeah. Yeah, they were all a pawns.
I laid more pipe in this town than wherever the hell this is plumbing.
Yeah, me and Hugh Hefner were great friends. But now I'm a eunuch. So I advise kings. Sorry, I'm reading Game of Thrones. Varys is also bald, Jackie. Were Varys and Freddy the same person? Dun, dun, dun. Varys got burned up by a dragon!
Mm-hmm.
It's all starting to come together now.
Exactly, right. Okay. So anyways, he wakes up. It's just another nightmare. He goes to science class where he's asleep during science class because he didn't get good sleep last night. And everybody's like, dude, what a douchebag. He's sleeping in science class. That's like what the cool kids do. The nerds that pay attention in science class. Jeez Louise. And Borphil is up there talking about guts and shit. And this fucking snake starts crawling over Jesse, and it's like, is this a nightmare? Freddy's using a snake, and he's like twisting around him, and he's going to be Freddy's face at the end. But no, it's the actual science class snake.
Has either escaped or been placed on him by another student.
It kind of seems like his best friend, Grady.
Ron.
Yeah.
Whatever the fucking guy's name is. Grady. It kind of seems like he put the snake on him.
So he snuck across the classroom, opened up the snake cage, and grabbed a fucking python, lifted it back over the room. How much does a python weigh, Sam? Like 50 pounds?
That one probably only weighs like 20 pounds.
Okay, all right.
It's a large snake.
It's
though.
a large snake. You don't just, like, it's not a fucking spitwad. And wraps it gently around this guy without waking it up. All while the science teacher is up there messing with a heart that he keeps in his desk drawer.
I'm pretty sure that was a brisket.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like, that looked like a steak.
It did look like steak. Desk steak. Some guys smoke in their office. Other guys keep a collection of raw meats.
They beat their meat.
Well, they all beat their meat in their office, Jackie. I mean, that's what you do. Why do teachers even have offices? Shouldn't you just have the break room?
That's all our teachers had.
Right?
Yeah, my teachers didn't have offices.
I've got my own private office. To do what? Drink scotch and beat it. I mean, that's seriously all you do in there.
Yeah, you just had your classroom.
Right? Okay. So anyways, it wasn't a dream. Yeah. Where the fuck am I?
The science teacher telling him, hey, if you want to play with animals, do it on your own time.
He gets fucking lectured about it.
Like, your snake, sir, possibly could have just been roaming around the classroom and attacked a student.
Yeah, it's a what's that called when snakes coil you up and smash you? It's not a venomous snake, but it's a
Constrictor?
constrictor. Yeah, it's a constrict. Like dude,
a
he could have
boa
died.
constrictor.
Well, it's a python, Jackie, not a boa constrictor. But yeah, the thing could have gone around his neck and. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a safety hazard.
Having loose snakes?
Having loose snakes.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, they had to put a leash on David Coverdale. I mean, come on, man.
What?
White snake.
Yeah. He's
Oh.
got a big pee-pee.
That's what Freddy said before he lost it. So he wants to go out with his gal pal Lisa that night, but Dad's like, no, you got to clean your room up finally. So he starts cleaning his room. Go, Dad! And he finds some stuff.
He finds a diary, or his girlfriend, Meryl Streep.
Well, before she shows up, he finds some other things.
Oh, yeah, he finds a slide whistle.
And some sunglasses that are weird, but
He-
very glam
we
is the
found
word I
some-
would use.
Some non-glam sunglasses.
Uh-huh.
Then he went ahead and switched to the glam sunglasses, and then he closed his drawer with butt dancing.
And puts on some very Culture Club-esque music, as it were, and
No, this shit makes Donna Summer sound like hard rock.
yeah, makes the slide whistle his phallic jobber.
I thought that was a baseball bat until he popped the top of it off.
Yeah, he's in there stroking his wooden cock.
Yep. Jumping on the bed.
Right as Lisa walks in,
Sure.
and it's like, oh boy.
Good thing I'm red-haired Meryl Streep. One kiss will turn you on, gay.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, she finds Nancy's diary and
Next to Probe, the board game.
Probe. He's got a game called Probe in his closet.
In his closet.
Is that a real
damn it.
game?
Probe? I don't. You should look that up.
I am totally looking that
No,
up.
I'm sure it's a game for somebody. I mean, it's a game in Japan called God. Just over here we call it Probe.
Oh, yeah, that's a real game. Let's see here. It's a parlor game introduced in the 1960s by Parker Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a two-person hangman game.
Probe?
Probe, it's a two-person hangman
What
game.
does that have to do with probing?
Mm.
Yeah.
I'd like to buy a vowel. Okay, so she's like, okay, we found this journal. Let's look through it. And it's like Nancy saying, hey, things are cool. Johnny Depp lives across the street. Oh, my God, he's been murdered by Freddy.
There's no writing on any of the pages in this journal.
They're blank pages because the production department couldn't take the time to draw squiggly lines on it.
Or just buy a book that kind of looks like a diary.
Kind of, yeah, right. I mean, jeez Louise here. He wakes up in the middle of the night, and all his stuff's melting, a recurring theme, everything's too hot. He goes in and checks the basement, and he finds Freddy's glove in the boiler. He's like, what the shit? And Freddy's like, you should try it on. And so he is like, fuck, crap, there's Freddy in here, and he turns around and trips and eats shit, and then turns back, Freddy's not there, but the glove's still there. And so I guess he took it.
Yeah. I should mention at this point that the glove.
Mm-hmm.
In 3rd grade or 4th grade, I believe I had a very in-depth debate with several other young gentlemen as to the viability of the glove as an offensive weapon, and we were all pretty sure that it was better than most knives, and that is not the case.
Oh, okay, why is that? I would like to continue this debate.
That thing, you wouldn't be able to do shit with that.
You could cut guys. Like, meow.
Yeah, like Catman.
Yeah, like Catman.
Only it would probably it's probably going to stab backwards through your finger more than in anything else.
Well, you'd have to make a good one.
Sure, but then you've got little tiny crappy knives.
What about that like Vega guy from Street Fighter 2? He had Freddy's gloves.
No, really, he sort of has kind of a spear. It's like 3 big prongs, and like it's a whole gauntlet that he can hold and use as like a thrusting weapon. This is just tiny knives on the end of your fingers.
Right, long fingernails. Wolverine's got his claws, obviously. He's pretty badass.
Yeah, not shitty knives on the end of his fingers.
Okay. What about those ninja tools where you like have a little iron thing that you hold on to and it's got little claws on the end of it that you could double for climbing up stuff fast?
Or catching swords. Also, not shitty knives on the end of your fingers.
Okay, all right. So you want to have knives at the more at the wrist area.
You want to have some leverage ability with a blade. If you attacked somebody with a 4-inch blade with a Freddy Krueger glove, you would probably be killed immediately.
At the best case scenario, you would scratch him up and break all of your fingers.
Yeah, you could take an eye maybe.
Oh, yeah. Like, boink.
Yep. Works for that.
the Three Stooges, thank God they didn't have Freddy gloves.
My first thought is, the first time you put that on, you're going to go itch your face and fucking cut your own face up, and you're like, fucking son of a bitch.
Or, like, you try to pick up a taco, and it turns into 4 tacos, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Mini tacos?
Yeah.
I love mini tacos, and then you try to eat the mini tacos, and they just become smaller tacos.
And then it's, like, paradoxically, you actually break the fabric of the universe by cutting the tacos into smaller than atomic pieces by trying to pick them up.
Only Ant-Man can eat them.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry, said Freddy. Okay, so anyways, he's now got Freddy's glove, and he's wearing it around with no pants on and being like, I'm a pretty lady. The next few scenes are tales of teenage woe. He's still being picked on, and the teacher, the coach is making him do push-ups and yada, yada, yada. Another night comes by, or an evening. Family's having gather around the radio, kids. We're going to listen to some ABC radio or something. I don't know what they're all doing. And Dad's like, boy, man, it sure feels warm in here. Anybody else hot? Like, yeah, I'm a little warm. He gets up and he's like, I'll check the thermostat. Maybe it's off by a few degrees. It's fucking 97.
You can't, it doesn't, like, is it hot in here?
Yeah.
Whoa, it got to 97 that quick. Weird. Because I should have said, is it, like, at 81, you're like, it's really fucking hot.
It's pretty hot in my house right now, guys.
81 is uncomfortable indoors. 97 is ridiculous.
They're not even really sweating that much. I mean, like, none of them, their hair all looks decent. They're wearing slacks still.
Plus, it's only in the living room because Jesse walks in from the kitchen and goes, hey, guys, it's really hot in here.
If it was 97 in my house, I would be like in a bathtub filled with ice. Okay. So things start getting pretty weird.
Yeah, it's hot enough in here that Petey's head falls off. One of the parakeets just dies of not having a head.
I thought that parakeet was attacked by the other parakeet.
I think that's what's implied.
And
I'm
is
pretty sure.
murdered with knives for fingers.
Which is what birds literally have.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they get the murdered bird. And then why the fuck would you open the cage?
We gotta, oh my gosh, somebody's in there attacking our parakeets. We gotta say, oh shit, it's the other parakeet.
Yeah.
Petey's been killed. Let's save him. Wait. No. Okay, fine. Try it.
I'll just put his head back on with some tape. This bird starts fucking flying around the house, like buzz bombing everybody, and they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We got bird vision too. I love bird cam. Yeah.
This is terrifying.
The bird.
There's a parakeet attacking a family, and you're like, really? You're wasting a horror sequence on a bird?
It's like it's fucking up shit in their house too. It's like knocking over lamps and stuff, and so it gets Dad it gives him a little cut on the cheek.
Yeah.
And so he grabs a broom and starts swiping at it, but then he starts fucking up the house too.
He's fucking up more shit than anything. He's knocking over lamps, breaking tables.
And then the bird like starts shaking and vibrating, and you're like, oh shit, that bird's the guy from Scanners, and fucking explodes in a fireball.
The bird blows up.
It explodes. It doesn't even like explode in blood. It's a fireball. Because
Spontaneously combusting parakeet.
was it real hot? Like 97 is parakeet's melting point?
They actually have
Combustion?
a label under
Yeah.
the wing that says that they are volatile when heated.
Keep cool.
Yeah.
Well, and then the dad's like trying to explain it away, like it's that cheap parakeet food you bought.
This guy is a Blamey McBlamerson.
And then he's like, no, you put a cherry bomb in that parakeet.
First, he's on a gas leak.
Mm.
Like it's
The gas leak was in the bird,
yeah, right. Yeah, it's just straight
Leaked
up into the bird.
right into that bird. A lot of
And
it.
and we know that birds are made of flame inside. You know, that's dragons.
Dragons
equals birds.
dinosaurs,
Same
birds.
thing. Yeah, dinosaurs, bird. Yeah, it's
Gas
all the same
leak.
thing. Gas leak. Bird seed, same thing.
Yep.
How many times have you seen the Roadrunner not eat the bird seed but gives it to the Wile E. Coyote and he
He
explodes?
blows up.
Yeah, man.
But he did put the exploding bird seed out there. It's ironic
Oh,
that he
right.
would eat
Yeah,
it later.
Yeah. Well, then why did she buy the exploding bird seed? That is the wife's fault if she bought Acme
Sure.
It was
brand.
on sale. It was on sale.
Yeah, you can't walk away from the good deals, can you?
No,
No.
you can really, for whatever reason, any material, when used in nefarious manners, becomes super cheap. You sell the same thing on a saw blade, it's too expensive.
God, 2 for 1 exploding bird seed. Shit. I gotta get it.
Yep.
So another rough night of sleeping, and he goes downstairs, and the dishes are getting struck by lightning. So he's like, I think I'm gonna go out for a cocktail because the dishes are struck by lightning. So he goes into the shady part of town and into a very eclectic. I guess this is like the town's Roxy club. I mean,
It's Don's place, Justin.
This is pretty heavy leather. I don't know what's going on with this
it's
bar,
not a gay bar, but
there's-
it's pretty.
There's women in like full-length sequin gowns.
Uh-huh.
There's biker babes in there.
There's a dude in a suit and tie and a derby cap.
There's some transvestites in there.
There's like a Leonard Skinner guy in the back.
There's men making out. There's the bartender has a halter top, and it's a dude that's bald, that's got a skullet.
Right. This is a weird place.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call this type of bar.
Jesse just walks in there with his shirt open and orders a beer, and they're like, "Here you go."
With a rock glass. Can I have
Yeah.
a Budweiser? Sure, sir. Would you like that on ice? No, it's a goddamn beer. So he pours a little bit of like it's fucking sipping beer.
Yeah, he's gonna take a shot of beer. Give me 2 fingers of beer. I'll see if I want the rest of it later.
Yeah, I'll take a Coors, make it a double.
Yeah.
Shaken, not
Yeah,
stirred.
I've changed my mind. I would like seltzer water.
And so, hey, guess who's there? His coach. And his coach is there to pick up on dudes, is what's implied.
Yeah, he's
He's got the outfit.
So he, like, punishes him in the middle of the night, makes him go to the gym and run laps.
yeah.
Like, hey, Buster, you're in trouble. Time to run laps. Dude, go fuck yourself, coach.
Yeah, but it's a dream because of all
It's
the red.
not a dream.
I know, but it's got the fucking red color cues in every other room.
It does
Like it's a
have-
fucking
like
dream.
It's a fucking dream. But it's not a fucking dream. This is real goddamn life. Like, shower up, kids. Strip down and scrub those buns because after I fill up my scotch, I'm gonna meet you in there. Type like it's
yeah.
implied again,
Well, and it's kind of creepy because the coach does go back to his office and gets out the jump ropes.
right?
Like he is planning on raping this kid.
Oh yeah, that's where this is headed, Jackie, for sure. But things start flying off the wall in his office. He gets brained a couple times by balls. It's pretty
Yep.
funny. And then he gets dragged into the showers by the jump ropes and strung up and then whipped with a towel
Yes,
in
he
the buns.
is being hazed by invisible assailants.
Mm-hmm. What's that called when you whip, like, whoosh,
The towel whip.
the towel whip? Yeah. Somebody's buns. Okay. And
Which he
Jesse's...
probably liked.
Oh, okay.
It hurts too bad for anybody to like it.
He didn't seem to enjoy it very much. Jackie was screaming in pain.
But
Yeah.
he seems like a pain guy.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that's a pretty big leap in logic.
Maybe he's the sadist.
Well, yeah, he's trying to be a sadist. That's what the movie's implying.
Yeah.
Is that he's like punishing these two boys because they need it. they need to be punished. Those are bad boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Either way, the invisible assailants have tied him up and
Spanked his buns.
Spanked his buns.
Yeah.
Bad coach.
All while Jesse is watching, or is it Jesse, or is he Freddy? Is Jesse spanking his buns as in his mind that he's Freddy? I'm not sure. We'll get that later. Either way, he gets clawed up and Coach is dead.
He turns, yeah. But then it cuts back. He, like, turns into Freddy because the steam. Then he claws him up. Then he goes back, and he's back there at the shower, and he's, like, just watched this man being murdered, so he covers his nipples.
What? Covers his nipples?
Yeah, he does.
He just goes, oh, my, and covers his nipples. That man's been clawed to death. I shouldn't show anyone my nipples right now.
Okay. He gets brought home by the cops who found him wandering around the streets naked. And Dad's like, you're on drugs, aren't you? What? And he's like, no, I'm not on drugs. I'm just closetly gay. Maybe stop repressing me so much. Maybe just talk to me a little bit. No, you're on drugs.
Also, do you have a job?
Yeah, what do you do
What
around here, Dad?
Do you do, sir?
He lectures people about buying parakeet food.
Right. That's his job. It's a high-paying one. He goes to school the next day. He's like, I'm not on drugs. I'm just going to go back to school. The cops are all over. It wasn't a dream. The coach had been murdered, sure enough, and everybody knows it. Another night, and Freddy's wanting Jesse to murder someone. He's like, I want you to kill some people. And so Jesse goes into his sister's room and stands over her. But before she was jump roping, it didn't even have a bed. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
They finally caved in when she was like, I need to sleep.
Yeah, I don't want to just jump rope all night.
I can't jump rope for 8 hours anymore. Every night.
All jump roping and no... Wait. Play makes... Never mind.
All jump roping and no sleeping makes young girls dead.
I'm pretty sure that's the plot of the new Shining movie.
Yeah.
Young girl played by Ewan McGregor.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
The horror. Okay, so Jesse and Lisa, he tells Jesse or tells Lisa everything about it. And she drives him out to the old power plant where Freddy worked at and murdered all the children. And they're like, do you feel anything? Do you sense anything? And he like slowly wanders over to this locker that's like burned up. And he's like, oh, there's something in here. And he opens it up and there's a fucking rat in there. And that's the end of the scene.
Well, she also provided him with some news articles.
Okay, that further reinforce what I just said about that's where Freddy murdered everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I try to keep you on track. You
Yeah.
know, make sure that you don't, say
By
things that aren't true.
Repeating my exact verbiage. Thank you very much.
What? No, you didn't even mention the news articles.
Because they're not relevant.
Yes, they are.
God damn it.
There were headlines and some pictures, and somebody worked real hard on those and put them in this movie, and you should... They actually printed on this paper, not like the diary.
Not
where
like
they
the fucking diary.
You're
where they
just giving a shout out to the prop department.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
the prop department actually wrote on this paper.
Kinda. Those were obviously just copies.
Yeah, they weren't
even newspapers.
single sheet newspapers printed on black and white paper.
Yeah.
On 11 by 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 by 14. So it was like, I'm not buying that this is a copy
Look at this real newspaper I'm looking
of
at.
the clip, and I'm also not buying that it's a newspaper. You fucked up again.
Yeah, see, I'm just trying to keep you on the straight and narrow.
Right. Okay. Let's move on. Lisa's having a party, and her parents are like, all right, you crazy kids, we're going to go to bed. Try to keep it not an orgy out here.
Yep. We're just going to shut the lights off, and that means you can be loud.
And
Darkness stops all of the noise of your fucking
right
rage orgy that you're about to have.
Oh my God, is that Robert Downey Jr. with a mountain of Coke and a wheelbarrow that he just
Yep.
pulled in? That's fine. The lights are off, honey. Let's go to bed.
I can't hear anything. It's too dark in here.
Jesse's like, I don't like this. I want to leave. I feel awkward. Everybody's screwing vaginas. I think I need to go someplace else. And Lisa's like, oh, I understand. Why don't we make out a little bit first, though? Jesse's got a big town.
Tongue.
Oh, big tongue.
Big Jesse's, that's a great song name. Jesse's got a big town.
Okay, so they're making out. He's headed down south, and his tongue comes out, and it's like...
It's stupid.
It's like Gene Simmons' tongue, but like if it was...
From a dead body.
Yeah, if it was in Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah. It's just this big, long, purple, warty tongue.
Right. He's got a witch's tongue.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's Freddy's tongue.
No, and she would have liked it.
She probably would have liked it. It's ribbed for her pleasure, literally. You know, because they like that.
According to the outside
Bumpy
of the
tongues.
packaging.
Yeah. Bumpy tongues, baby.
Nothing says hot sex like warts.
Yeah, like warts on your tongue. All right. So he's like, I got to get out of here. Vaginas are not for me. And he instead goes to Grady's room. And
Yes.
He's like, we have to stay up together all night long.
All night long.
All night.
All
All night.
Grady has a Tina Turner poster on his roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, dude, we have to shelter in place, and you have to watch me while I take some Z's.
Just watch me sleep.
And if I start doing some weird shit, wake me up.
Which I'm going to do. If you want to do some weird shit too, I mean, like, you know, I'm look, if you're cool with weird shit, I'm cool with weird shit.
Grady's also wearing camouflage track pants, which is like not wearing pants at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so
he likes those short shorts.
Mm-hmm.
what he doesn't do is stay awake. He's like, all right, you're sleeping, I'm sleeping. I'm going to turn out the light. But then Jesse wakes up immediately, and he's got claws growing out of his fingers, and he's like, help me. And Freddy's like busting through his arm, and then Grady's like, get me the fuck out of here. There's a man inside my friend, and it's not me.
I don't remember the first one having so many body horror sequences.
No, not the first one.
Yeah,
really.
okay.
Mostly just...
This one's like, I'm a body horror. I'm a slasher, maybe. Nope, I'm a body horror.
Mm-hmm.
No, this was gross.
Yeah.
It was very slimy. Everybody knows I don't like the slimy drool.
You hate body horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, fuck, it was gross.
I didn't think it was a bad effect, really.
It wasn't a bad
fine.
effect,
Wasn't
but it was
good,
it was too gooey for me.
It's
Yeah.
not scary at all.
It's
no,
not.
it's just gross.
Because literally what's happening is Grady is upset because there's a man inside of his friend.
That's not him.
I can't say it any other way. It's not scary at all. It's just a subtle undertone. So he eventually, Freddy busts out of his tummy and is like, I'm going to be inside you now, Grady, and stabs him through his door with his glove, breaking all of his hands. His hand, as we said. It's not a good weapon for stabbing. But not really.
Grady's dad is like, let me in. And as
You
soon as
mean Ferris Bueller's dad?
that is Ferris Bueller's dad as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, let me in. And then once Grady's there, he's like, I'm going back to bed.
Yeah, it got quiet in there. I'm sure it's fine.
So the police show up.
Mhm.
The fire department and everybody.
Because they know?
I guess his mom called or something.
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But they're there pretty fast. The response time
Mhm.
wherever they are is very good.
Yeah.
So he climbs out the window, and I guess they don't see the kid covered in blood leave the house. Covered in fucking blood.
Hey, who's that guy? Nah, seems fine with me.
A barefoot kid
Yeah.
covered in blood?
He's
not a
okay.
suspect.
He checks out.
Yeah. That's just a night walker.
What's he look like? Well, he's a white kid. Okay, good enough for me. Yeah,
Yep.
he's fine. Let him go. All right, so he goes back to Lisa's and tells her everything. I killed the coach. I killed Grady. And she's like, it's fine. I'm just worried about you so much. Lady, dude, seriously?
Why won't you talk to me?
Why
She
don't you
keeps
let
saying
me
that.
in?
She keeps verbatim. She says, why won't you talk to me, Jesse? Probably 73 times in this movie.
Right.
What she's really saying is, why won't you fuck me, Jesse?
Right. Back at the teen orgy, though, outside, everything's starting to heat up a little. Literally.
It's a teen orgy.
Well, you know.
Oh, and the pool's hot.
The pool's on fire.
I'm at this point in the movie, I'm watching it and just going, So Freddy Krueger just has whatever power
He just has whatever power.
to do whatever, whenever, however.
However, whenever, in sleep or not sleep, whatever.
Whatever. Well, she does say that all he needed was our screams to come to the real world.
Uh-huh.
What?
No.
Yeah, he's using this kid as a vessel so he can rebirth himself.
Okay, so he can just do whatever, whenever, Jack.
He can
Yep.
Okay.
I think rebirthing would have been fun if he like just shot out of some tube.
It's taking a really long time. How long is this vagina?
There was an episode of Tom Goes to the Mayor, which was the Tim and Eric show before Tim and Eric, and they did an unbirthing episode, and it was pretty spectacular. Or rebirthing.
Right. Okay, so the teens are locked inside. The parents get locked inside their bedroom. Jesse is turning into Freddy, or maybe not. I don't know. Freddy's there, and he's attacking Lisa, nibbles on her leg a little bit. It's pretty funny.
He has her to where he can obviously kill her, and instead he bites her leg.
He's like a chihuahua.
And then she kicks him in the face.
She just kicks. She's very good at fighting Freddy Krueger versus anyone I've ever seen, and she's barely trying. She's like, "Stop it!" and hits him with a lamp, and he's like, "Oh fuck, I'm going down!" And then kicks him, and he's like, "Jesus!" That lady kicks hard, and she's just like spazzes out somewhere else.
Yeah, well, she gets the knife from the cake, and she's like, "This is the greatest part, right? You're by the window." Your 4 friends that you've invited to this party are standing outside of this locked window door, watching you about to be murdered by this psychopath. And they're just like, oh, they're just staring. They're not trying to get in. They're not trying to save your
Peep
ass.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's not happening to me, so it's fine.
It's a snuff party.
Yeah. And so she stabs him, and all that comes out is, or she stabs Freddy, and all that comes out is a bunch of dust.
Right.
Like a sawdust mill in there.
This is where the movie had an opportunity for everything to make sense. If those guys outside, if we get a POV shot from where they're standing inside, and then Jesse is just standing there wearing the glove, and she's stabbing him, and he dies, this whole fucking movie works.
Right.
But that does not happen.
That does not happen, but I think that still is what is happening. We'll get to that here in a bit. So he chucks her aside and jumps out the window, starts attacking the teenagers, who are now in a panic. One guy gets trampled.
He teleports also.
He teleports.
He jumps through the window and then disappears, and then jumps out of like the pump, of the pool.
Right. Lights everything on fire. He stabs one guy in the tummy. And then Dad comes out with this one guy's like, "Hey buddy, hey, how about you take it down a notch?
Yeah,
you're really harsh in our party. Why don't you come in, grab a beer, and we'll pour it in a rock glass how you like it, and we can just all talk it over."
He throws him into a barbecue, and this guy's probably not dead.
He's probably fine
because at this, there is some people killed early on here, but then there's a heavy shift in Freddy Krueger's behavior to very minor property damage. Right. He's just not breaking things. Like, he knocked over some chairs.
Yeah, right. Not the lawn chairs, Freddy.
He exploded on those hot dogs.
Right. Oh,
blew up the
dick
fucking
dogs.
hot dogs. Dumped their beer out.
Right.
He doesn't like to party. Dad comes out with a shotgun. What do we give him? Like 10 feet away?
Yeah, right.
He's 10 feet away from Freddy Krueger, and he shoots the fucking punch bowl. Like, nice shot. First time you used that?
It seems like it's the first time he used it.
Yeah. Or anything like it. Like,
right.
He didn't even know that you're supposed to point it at what you want to shoot.
Number one reason we need gun control. Jesse's dad. We're all going to die, including Jesse's dad.
Or Lisa's dad.
Yeah, right. Well, whoever. So Freddy bails, and Lisa drives to the power plant because I guess that's where she thinks he's at.
They don't quit having a party orgy.
No, not really.
And she's like, "I need to leave." And you're like, "Okay.
Cool, mind if we stay?
Yeah, we're just gonna."
Still got beers.
Yeah, only half of them got dumped out by that weird, fleshy man.
Was that your uncle?
Uncle Freddy? Yeah. I have an Uncle Freddy. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how about that? So she goes to the power plant, and it's guarded now by Rottweilers who have babies' heads.
This is where shit just gets fucking weird.
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, during the exploding parakeet sequence, I'm already accusing the movie of wasting time and money on stuff that we didn't show up for.
Right?
When I see these, I was like, man, this doesn't even... She can just walk in.
They're not even guarded. They're like, I'm a baby-faced Rottweiler.
There's
Okay.
You have to shoot it twice without those. If you're the director and you see those, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna break somebody's heart. I'll shoot this. Get these fucking dogs out of here and let's shoot this without them.
Right?
Because this has got to be on the floor. These things cannot make it into the movie. They look terrible.
They look terrible, and they don't even make sense within the context of looking terrible.
Because they don't guard anything.
Come on
They're
in,
just
lady.
baby dogs.
To,
Like the
the
welcome
power plant. Yeah.
Welcome in. I'm ugly and weird.
Oh, I know what's going on here. This is Chernobyl, and they're just mutated dogs from pre-epid. That's, what happens with all the radiation, because they had to leave the dogs behind.
And so they got baby heads.
They got baby heads.
And they're like, I have learned math at an amazing rate, but I do not have fingers or opposable thumbs, so I can't write any of it down. Help me.
Damn you, radiation!
Human, be my fingers.
Yeah, when you blow it all up, you either turn into the gorillas get smart, or you turn into a baby Rottweiler.
Sure.
Yeah, it's science.
Get to the next one.
Yeah, so then she's like walking around the power plant looking for Freddy, Jesse, and there's a rat on the walkway.
And it's got like massive teeth. Like it is out to get a little
there's
nibble.
Another rat that falls from the sky. It's a giant, it's an ROS. R-O-U-S?
R-U-S?
Yeah. And it eats the other rat, and then...
No, that was a cat, dude.
Yeah, the cat jumps down and eats the killer rat.
But it also
like
has
shark's
killer teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, it also has killer teeth.
Because they're Freddy and... Were they just mutated to... Nah, this is fucking Chernobyl. Has nothing to do with Freddy. This is just a power plant that has gone bad and is leaking radiation out into our environment.
Shark cat.
Shark cat. It's just a mutation.
And it turns to the cameras like, shark cat. You're like, what fucking movie am I watching? You guys know what movie you're making? Because I don't think you do.
So she runs away and runs into Freddy, Jesse. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. And she's like, no, Jesse, you have to fight him. I love you. And which causes Freddy to start like, and he falls to the ground. He's lost his power.
The power of love or the song of the whales that's defeating him
I
right
don't
now.
know. And then she makes out with Grody Freddy.
She kisses him.
She's like, I love you, Jesse. Come back to me.
Everything around him catches on fire, including Freddy, who melts and dies.
He burns. This is another very expensive sequence that is no impact. Like the whole place catches on fire for a while. He burns up, kind of. That should have cost a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I personally liked when the dummy fell over.
That was kind of fun.
It was like doing and it made the noise on the rail, and I was like, yep.
Out of his ashes emerges Jesse.
Unscathed.
He's like the fucking Phoenix, I guess.
Still murdered 2 people.
Right. Well, okay. Hold on. The next day, everything's better. It's sunshiny out. Everybody's wearing pastels now because, hey, happy. And he gets on the bus, and they're like, hey, it's the coolest guy in school. It's Jesse. Come sit next to me, Jesse. I'm over here, Jesse.
What happened to his car?
Right?
Yeah, what happened to the dinosaur car?
He sits next to Lisa, and Lisa's friend that was at the party is like, dude, awesome party last night, Lisa. Thanks for doing that. Not that anybody was murdered at this party.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't seem to give a shit at all. It's like, dude, that was killer.
That was
you know
an
how many
awesome party.
times I got banged in the pool.
Orgy at your house every weekend.
Okay.
And Jesse's like, yeah, all right. Wait, why is this bus speeding up so fast? And they're like, it's not speeding up. What are you talking about? No, this bus is out of control. no, everything's fine, Jesse, calm down. And then he like has a moment of clarity and he looks ahead and everything is fine. It's a different bus. It's not Freddy driving the bus and some kids are getting on and he's like, oh, okay, cool. And then Freddy's hand jumps through the party girl's chest and the bus drives out into the desert. The end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad that they explained why they put that whole bus scene in the beginning.
The bus is a metaphor for something. I can't make a connection.
I feel like the only way this movie actually works is if the bus is just the beginning of him being trapped in the nightmare. He is always in his own nightmare, and it takes Freddy this long to kill him in the nightmare. He is never in the real world. One time is the only way this fucking thing works at all, and the bus bookending it would make that the case. However,
this is all a dream?
That's the only way this would work, and you could explain it this ex post facto, but in the like whatever the nightmare doc or whatever, they said that wasn't the case.
Okay,
so it's just a shit mess. It's just a fucking mess.
It's just a pile of crap then. Because again, this is all Reagan propaganda about Jesse being a homosexual. Sure. And if you're a homosexual, you're going to if you imbibe those urges as Ronald would say to us, it's a choice. If you imbibe those urges, you're going to become bad. You're going to become burnt up and disgusting and murderous inside, and you're it's fucking reefer madness is what it is. You smoke a joint, you're gonna go and then shoot somebody.
Oddly enough, made by the same guy.
Right. It's literally reefer madness, and so at the end, everything's fine and roses. And then, so the screenwriter is sneaking this in, saying it's fine. Yeah, sure. It looks like it's fine and roses if you ignore your homosexuality, but really, it's there. It doesn't go away. So
the nightmare never ends.
That's the only thing I can take away from this fucking thing. But then, does he murder people? Are those people dead?
If it isn't all just a dream, he murdered people. He has to be in a dream.
He doesn't get to go to school the next day.
No. He either dies. No.
No.
The only way it works is if it was all a dream.
Okay, what about this? So we run with the repressed homosexuality thing. Sure. Still. He is having some psychological issues to begin with. Because of ignoring who he is inside, which we all know is very damaging. And he finds the journal and then uses Freddy as a scapegoat to justify his own madness inside of himself. Like he's using Freddy as like, this is how I come out.
Sure, Friday the 13th one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
So he's like copycatting.
Yeah, right.
That would have worked too. As I said, the thing with if the dream state, like he was had some sort of telekinesis or not telepathy, that he would be able to, sort of impart the illusion only so far, like in the scene where she stabs him. If it would have been him there and like that would have worked too. But there's a lot of things that would have worked, but this isn't it.
No.
Or it is all a dream, and that works as if it's all a dream.
That's the only way it could work.
Yeah.
Jackie, what's your interpretation of all this shit?
It was a horror movie.
But it's not. It's not a horror movie, Jackie.
It has whales.
It has whales. It's something else under the guise, under the, hey, we need you to write a movie, so might as well make it Freddy 2.
Yeah.
There's something else happening here.
Maybe it is a little bit of everybody that he's sexually attracted to dies in this movie, right?
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And so...
Except for Lisa, but he's not sexually attracted to her.
Right.
Doesn't she die?
No.
She's on the bus.
No, that's not... Well, who knows what happens when you go on the bus?
We're ignoring that bus thing. But the two victims that he actually has, right, are the homosexual coach and the homosexual best friend.
Right.
And so what is that really saying? if you can't control yourself, you need to cut them out.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Good pickup, dude. Ugh. Gross. Awful. Bad. Which leads me, now that we all have our own theories and we're all in agreement that this is saying something else. Does Freddy appear in this? I mean, does Freddy exist in this movie?
Only if it's all just a dream. Again, with the buses.
Yeah, but so Freddy, if it's all a dream, does actual Freddy Krueger appear, or is it just him?
If it's all a dream, it's actual Freddy Krueger, because that's how he kills you, is in the dream.
Okay. All right.
I think that they just put Freddy in a after-school special about ignoring your homosexuality.
No. Yeah, right. I agree with that, but that's from the filmmaker. I'm saying, like, does the character Freddy Krueger, is this Freddy canon, or is this?
It can't be, because it breaks all of the rules that are readopted by 3.
Right.
And in fact, one of the things that 3 does really early on is it reestablishes all the rules that this movie broke. It
Right.
basically tells the viewer directly, this is how this world works.
Right.
Right, because they have him go into the power plant. No, he's attached to that boiler in that old house.
And he's got to be inside of your nightmares. He can't kill teenagers during an orgy. He can't just inhibit some because he's got a vassal. No, that's bullshit. That's because
Vessel?
otherwise, no, a vassal, Jackie. When you inhibit somebody's body and use them, it's called a vassal. A vessel is what you pour wine out of.
Or you use it to sink the other battleship.
Right.
I knew I was onto something.
A vessel.
A vessel.
What?
Yeah.
The Klingon vessel. Chekhov. So I'm still with you, Sam. I think that them saying that this is not the only way it works is it's Freddy's fucking nightmare. He has created this entire fucking thing. That explains, because if it's a nightmare, he can do whatever inside of the nightmare, but he can't come out. No, it has to be, guys.
It has to be bust-to-bust nightmare.
Bust-to-bust nightmare.
The longest, slowest killing of a gay kid ever.
Right.
That's what this movie is.
Absolutely. For no reason does
Yeah.
Freddy have any motivation to even come after this guy. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah.
I mean, where do we start?
Well, this one is, do they have family quiet bird time frequently? Because going back to the scene when the bird explodes, he comes in and is like, it's really hot in here, and his sister says, shh, that we just put the birds to sleep.
Right.
Which means they're now prisoners of quiet in their own living room. So that's what they do, is let's gather around and not wake the birds up.
Honey, I'd like to watch Carson tonight. No, we can't. It's too loud.
For the birds.
For the parakeets.
What do you think their names are? Let's name the parakeets.
One of them's Petey because his head fell off.
Right.
So that one's covered.
The other one's Smokey.
Pop-Tart.
Okay. Anybody else got a question? All right. Final recommendations on Freddy 2. Let's start with Sam, because I know he's probably the least fan of Freddy in this house.
This is the same thing I'm going to say about last week's movie. If you haven't, yes, but I don't think I'll ever watch this one again.
No, I think it's a one-time.
It's a one-timer.
It's a one-timer. Jackie?
I think I'm going to forget about this movie. And then I'll watch it again and be like, oh, God damn it, this is the stupid one.
Yeah.
Where the parakeet blows up. And then I'll just sit there and watch it because I'm looking for a horror movie that I can kind of tune out. But I'm with you. I'm with Sam. I would say if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
But you'll forget about it and you'll do that thing in 6 months where you're like, oh, I'm going to watch all of the Friday the 13th. And then you're going to be like, oh, man, this is a
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare. Oh,
Very
shit.
sweet.
See? Look, I already did it.
Yeah. I'm also in the same boat with you guys. There's not enough bad movie tropes to make like, oh yeah, that's a classic bad movie. But I do think that it is a must do one time because of not only because of like what it is, what a mess it is, and it's not a fucking Freddy movie. It's about something else. But at the same time, like, what a pile of shit it is.
Yeah.
And that it didn't end one of the most successful horror franchises of all time and a complete staple of the 80s.
And it saved the studio, gave us Lord of the Rings.
And it's an important movie historically.
Watch it, and I don't think Wes Craven's all that great, but like, whose name didn't we mention once in this podcast?
Right.
Wes Craven, because he had pretty much nothing to do with this.
Right.
And that's why it's such a big piece of crap.
Yeah. So it's a do for me, but I'll give you guys the one time. This is only my second time, and the only reason we did it is because of the podcast. It was a must-do for the podcast, but not for viewing. So there you go. On streaming do's and don'ts this week, funny coincidence, Jackie and I watched Critters.
Oh, no, I was hoping, what's it on?
Stars. It's currently streaming on Stars.
I wanted to watch that. I haven't seen that since forever.
I'm going to go ahead and, spoiler alert, Sam, don't.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Critters 3 was fun.
I've never seen any of the first one, but I will say that Critters, when it came out, dude, was one of my. Now I was 7. Sure. It was my Biggles adventure in time. I fucking loved Critters. It was like a horror movie where people, got their body parts chewed off by little critters. That was PG-13, so I was allowed to watch it because I lived also in a repressed household.
Yeah.
So boy, is it nothing though.
That's too bad.
I've never seen Critters before this.
Which is very strange.
Yeah, considering it was such a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen any of them. So I watched this and I kind of liked it.
Did you? Okay.
I thought it was funny. And I know it's not supposed to be funny. I know it's supposed to be scary, but when, a 7-year-old kid is running the show and then, like people are crippled by these little critter things. And I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's, because Jackie brings up a good point, and we made it while watching it. The protagonist of the film is the house's kid, the boy. I mean, he's essentially the same character as Troll 2. Sure. And he's fighting aliens from space and being the only person in this film that's super brave and is trying to save the family. So I kind of think that there was an aspect of like I might have liked it at that point because I wanted to be that kid because he was, not a lot of films.
Stephen Dorff in The Gate.
Yeah, right. I liked that. So I kind of think it's a kid's film, but as an adult, I just was like, this is just, it's not even dumb. It's just nothing's happening here. So don't from me.
I like when the boyfriend gets killed.
Boyfriend, funny coincidence. Billy Zane.
Fucking A.
Yeah, that was pretty rad.
No, Billy Zane, you can't die. You can't get eaten by little balls of fur.
Chewed by furry piranhas and smiles. It's okay, I'm Billy Zane.
Don't worry about it, guys. I did like every single minute of the film that Billy Zane was in because he's a cool guy. He's got a Porsche 944 and he pulls up and he's banging the daughter. And he should be a total D-bag because he looks like Billy Zane and he's driving a 944, but he stays for dinner and like he gets really along with the dad and is very respectful and is like, ma'am, can I help you with the dishes? And the teenage daughter's like, bang me in the barn. And he's like, all right, I guess I got to go, and goes into the barn and she's like, do me right here. And he's like, I can't, I'm allergic to hay, which is a very not cool guy thing to do. He's kind of, he's a real guy.
Yeah.
I liked him.
He's a real guy with real allergies.
Yeah. Cool guys that drive 944s can't have allergies.
Yeah, dude, how do you explain that to your mom when your butt puffs up?
Right.
Why are your balls so big? I was rolling in the hay. How many times have I told you not to do that?
Yeah, so there you go. Last but not least, we got another streaming do's and don'ts from also on Stars, a movie called Heat that doesn't star Robert De Niro and Val Kilmer and stars Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds in Other Heat.
Also, another film called Wild Card
that we did.
Yeah, starring Jason Statham.
And I think we all gave that one a don't.
We gave that one a don't.
Because it's a remake of this one. I'm giving this one a do. This was also giving it really weird and slow, but it was just Burt Reynolds charming all the way through.
Yeah, dude, I really liked Heat.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I liked it too.
It's almost a shot for, or Wild Card is almost a shot-for-shot remake of it.
But crappy.
I mean, like, dude, I like Statham, but there's like a level of the Statham not super successful franchise movies that are all kind of like DTV quality. They've got bad editing and like tough guy bullshit. And this is not that character. I mean, like, the Burt Reynolds' character in Heat is super fucking tough. Like, he can kick anybody's ass.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's, like, really broken inside. And endearing and likable and flawed as fucking shit. And goes on this thing that motivation is to go to Venice, Italy, and do it poorly, but he can't because he's so fucked up he can't even accomplish his retirement.
Yeah, and it's sort of like this meandering story that plays like it's a pilot, but it doesn't, because we found out as you were reading that Altman was supposed to direct it.
Robert
And
fucking Altman.
It would have been this sort of really strange creature had Altman directed it, because he's so good with those sort of meandering stories that don't necessarily. They do have a point A and a point B that's the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
But there's like point D and C and F and W that are all in the middle, that there's like these small little episodic resolutions throughout the film.
Wasn't God, what that not Robert Courtney Cox's dad in Friends.
Elliot Gould.
Long
Goodbye.
Yeah, The Long Goodbye. Wasn't that Altman?
That was Altman.
Yeah. Very similar to The Long
Yes.
Goodbye in that way. But at the same time, 80s Burt Reynolds, which during that time, like, Burt Reynolds is down. Like,
Yes.
his star is not flaming out, and this is probably one of the better ones out of that time.
And it seems like there's another weird thing happening where it's like Burt Reynolds is kind of like Burt Reynolds. Like he's playing out the thing that's happening in his career in the movie.
Right.
And it's like he's this, he's a heavy in the film, but he's like he's washed out and he's on his last legs in Vegas. And his career's in the same place too.
Right.
So it was a great watch.
Yeah, it was a great watch. So definitely watch Heat. Next week, it's Sam's pick.
Yes.
What we doing?
Before we do that, I did have some listener feedback. Oddly enough, off the streets.
Oh, it was
Off the streets.
Hey, it's Stinker Madness and Sam. Hey, Sam, go fuck yourself.
The feedback was they're like, "Hey, you the podcast guy?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they threw a burrito at me.
They're like, "Hey, free burrito."
Yeah, they weren't ready for my cat-like reflexes. Free lunch, bitches. Listener and friend Colton says when we were talking about the crew in Druids being in there and how that got there and how it stayed there, he made a really good point that I didn't think of, is that I bet they thought, because of all the shitty visual effects, that they were just going to use that as a plate and digitally remove everybody, but they never had the fucking time or money to do it. And I was like, I bet you're fucking right.
I bet you he's right, too. That is the type of shit that was happening at that point in time. Like, it doesn't matter, get the shot, we'll use it, we'll just dub it out.
We'll just scrub them out of there. Like, no, the whole crew and half of the lighting rig is in the shot. We can't remove that much shit.
Yeah,
it's in the movie forever. Good job. And then going to next week's film, it will be Frankenhooker.
Nice.
Well, we didn't say hi to Colton.
Oh, hi, Colton.
Yeah. Fuck
we
you,
did
Colton.
when I said that he had listener feedback. Isn't that it?
No, I was gonna say hi.
Okay,
but you know what? Fuck Colton, okay?
Yeah, fuck his stupid burrito.
Because he didn't say anything nice to me.
He didn't throw a burrito at me.
Throwing ass. All right, let's wrap that up. Frankenhooker next week. It's currently streaming on Amazon Prime. You got to rent it, but it's probably important if you haven't seen it.
If you haven't seen it, you should definitely chuck down $2 on Frankenhooker.
Yeah, so enjoy your week, guys. Get to the chopper.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter @Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.